Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and most importantly, the Holy Cross graduating class of 2024. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Celine Assahoua, and I'm very honored and grateful to be standing here before you today. Before I start my reflection, I would like to take the time to sincerely thank any parent, sibling, family friend, coach, or mentor who has supported us throughout our high school career. I know that I would not be here today without the support of my family, and I know that the same can be said for my fellow classmates. The sacrifices that you have all made to ensure that we have the best high school experience is not going unnoticed. This graduation weekend is yours just as much as it's ours. I also want to thank the Holy Cross faculty for always believing in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. Thank you for being our guides, our friends, and most importantly, our family. I often think back to when I was in middle school and dreaded spending 4 very long years in high school. Those same 4 years that we all probably dreaded flew by quicker than we could have thought. To be completely honest, up until the fall of my 8th grade year, I had no idea that Holy Cross High School even existed. Like many other public school students, I assumed that I would continue my education at yet another public school or technical school. Coming from a single-parent household, I never thought that I would have access to a private school education, let alone the amazing education that's been offered to us here at Holy Cross. Nonetheless, with the support of my amazing mother, I decided to apply. I'm not sure what I was expecting when I first walked into Holy Cross, but I surely wasn't expecting to see Mrs. Parks with the most welcoming smile I'd ever seen, and a name tag that actually had my last name spelled correctly on it. I still don't know if it was her amazing admissions presentation or those chocolate chip cookies from the Mother's Club that had me sold, but after that night, I knew that Holy Cross would be the place for me. When taking the time to think back to our freshman year, I immediately thought of our very high-pitched voices, questionable hairstyles, and eager minds. I also thought of the state of the world around us as we were still experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic. Our class began a new stage of life while also being in a state of uncertainty because of the pandemic. The beginning of that school year can be described as anything but normal. Instead of welcoming in a new journey together as a class, we were separated into DLCs and green and gold cohorts. We were separated by tiny pieces of fabric that prevented us from being able to connect with one another normally. Nonetheless, our freshman year is a testament to our resilience and perseverance. Regardless of the challenges we faced that year, we made the best of the situation at hand and made as many memories as we could. Instead of doing one of Mr. Piatek's many long scripture assignments, most of us spent our DLC time spraying each other with cleaning solution from across the room, or trying our hardest to hide our phones from our DLC proctors. Our freshman year may have been stranger than most, but it was truly one to remember. Now here we are, 4 years later, ready to cross the finish line of our high school journeys. We've created amazing memories and relationships that will hopefully last for a lifetime. Every laugh, every cry, and every meaningful conversation we shared over these last 4 years will always remain in these halls. In some way, shape, or form, we've all left our mark on Holy Cross, the same way it's left a mark in all of our hearts. As we reflect on our high school journeys, many of us are thinking about the things we did or regret doing, or the things we wish we could have done also in high school. Luckily for us, this is not only the end of one chapter, but the hopeful beginning of a new one. This year, we were bombarded with questions about our next steps and future plans. While some may think that we have the next few years of our lives completely figured out, in reality, most of us do not. I think that's the beauty of living, not having all the answers, but still choosing to live anyways. While we may not have all the answers on what we'll be doing, we all have the opportunity to decide what kind of person we want to become as we enter this next stage of life. I want you to think back to the person you were during high school. Think of all your mistakes, your regrets, or even the moments that make you cringe the most. From this point forward, you have the choice to become the person you want to be. Become the person who chooses to be kind instead of indifferent. Become the person who decides to be a leader instead of a follower. Become the person that you know you would have looked up to as a child. In a world full of darkness, choose to be the light that shines in even the darkest of places. The road ahead isn't going to be easy. It's hopefully going to be filled with a lot of success, but also a lot of challenges and failures. If there's one thing we learned at Holy Cross, it's to not be afraid to fail. Failure is just a redirection to a better destination. Regardless of where we end up after today, Holy Cross won't just be a distant memory, but a forever part of our hearts and minds. So, congratulations to the class of 2024. It was an honor knowing all of you, and I know that we're all off to do amazing things. Thank you.